What is going on, Wastelanders? It is me, Lone Vault Wanderer, back with my Fallout 4 What We Want series. In this episode, I'm going to be talking about karma and how in Fallout 4, I want the karma system to be completely revamped. Now, before I get into this video, I would just like to kindly ask you, if you like my Fallout videos, if you like mod videos, please, at the end of this video, check the link in the description. It will take you to my latest Fallout New Vegas Mods Weekly video. I would really appreciate it if you support that series. So moving on, I'm sure many of you that have played Fallout 3 know the karma system is just not that great. I can definitely understand the concept and reasoning behind it and behind having a karma system in general, because as you play through an open world game, you make decisions which are good or bad or neutral in some cases, and your personality and the way people in the wasteland actually react towards you should be affected accordingly. So if you do bad things, people in the wasteland should not react in the best way towards you. If you do good things, people should admire and respect you. I completely understand that, but in Fallout 3 the karma system was not as fully fleshed out as I would have liked it to have been. Now there's one small gripe that I can point out where, for example, if I went into someone's house that was completely abandoned and stole a fork, for example, why does my karma go down? Yes, I can understand that you've stolen something, so technically your karma should go down, but because karma is meant to affect how other people in the wasteland react towards you, that act of stealing, because nobody saw it, should not actually affect my interactions with people in the wasteland. They didn't see that act, so why should it affect my karma in that sense? That only really makes sense if the karma system is meant to be more of a personal thing. Yes, personally you should feel bad because you stole something, but again, if karma is meant to affect how people see you in the wasteland, then that act of stealing should not actually impact upon your karma in that kind of external sense. Now just head into the Fallout 3 wiki just to see some of the effects of karma levels. With good karma, you can have access to Star Paladin Cross and Forks. Talon Company mercs will come after you. A citizen in Megaton will reward you for your good doings with ammo and other random gifts. You know that person every time you went into Megaton gave you a stim pack and some other ammo and items and stuff. Wow, that's really cool and stuff, but is that really meaningful? I mean, getting some ammo here and there, getting access to some companions, who really cares about that? In my opinion, that doesn't really affect my character in any meaningful way. And let's consider the effects of neutral karma. The use of the impartial mediation perk, the single biggest skill boost in the game. Access to Sergeant RL3, a good early to mid game follower, and Butch. Neither Talon Company nor the regulators will come after you. Let's look at bad karma. The regulators will be after you. Access to Clover and Jericho, and a slaver in Paradise Falls will reward you for your wrongdoings with ammo and other random gifts. Now you see how all of those effects aren't, in the grand scheme of things, meaningful in any way? You get some ammo here and there, you get some people attacking you whether you're good or bad or whatever, you get access to some followers that you might not otherwise get access to. But first of all, in that example, you can have a bad karma, get Jericho, and then be good again. Why doesn't Jericho leave you at that stage? You know, technically, if he only accepted you with a bad karma. But aside from that small gripe, just in general, I want, firstly, when I get bad karma, it should be because of an act that once I do it, people in the wasteland can find out about it in a realistic way. For example, take the blowing up of Megaton. You blow up Megaton and then word will spread amongst communities in the wasteland that it was you that flicked the switch. Now that makes sense for people in the wasteland to act towards you in a negative way, or not respect you or not like you, because they found out about that negative or bad act that you've done. It's not simply stealing a fork in isolation and people somehow reacting negatively towards you. If they couldn't see that act, why should they be reacting any less favorably towards you? Or let's take an act on the other side of the spectrum. Let's say I save a town, I provide them with a constant flow of water supply. Because of that good act, people in the town will start talking about the good act that I've done, the good deed that I've done. Caravanners and other salesmen will find out about that, word will spread, and then when people see me, they'll realize that I was the person that saved that town. And in that way, when people act good towards me, when they respect me, it's because they know that I've done that good act. I mean, something that I found stupid in Fallout 3 was, oh, a good way to get karma is to go up to this guy either in front of Megaton or in front of Rivet City, give him some water, and then I'll get good karma because of that. That's kind of silly. Unless that guy is telling everybody in the wasteland about my good karma, how are people going to know that I've done that good deed? And if that's the case, why should people act in a better way towards me? Why should they act towards me in a more favorable way? It doesn't necessarily really make sense. So I guess what I'm saying on this first point is, when I do something good, when I do something bad, or when I just don't act towards anything, it should be done in a way that people in the Wasteland can somehow find out about it. Whether that's done in segments like, for example, in Fallout New Vegas, if I do something good towards a particular faction, and yes, my reputation towards that faction will improve, but that might not necessarily affect my dealings with other factions or other people in the Wasteland, because they might not necessarily find out that I did that good deed, and that would be just the same if I did something bad for a particular faction. And the second thing that I want Fallout 4 to really push is the effects and the number and the meaningfulness of the effects of having a particular type of karma. And what do I mean by that? You just heard the list that I read out talking about the effects of good, neutral, and bad karma. Did they really seem that meaningful? You get free ammo and stim packs or whatever, medical supplies, you get access to some companions, and sometimes groups can attack you like Talon Company or the Regulators. Other than that, shouldn't karma really affect the player and the character in a more meaningful or substantial or worthwhile way? If I do something bad and people know that I've done something bad, and the word around town is that I'm a bad person, that's my karma, I have a bad karma, then that should really affect my dealings in the Wasteland. I should be refused access to buy things at certain stores. Certain quest lines should be cut off from me. I should be refused access to some towns, because that should be the negative impact upon your playthrough if you decide to act like an asshole. And whilst that might turn some people off from acting in a bad way or having a bad karma, that's the whole point. If you're a bad person, if you're playing as a bad character, it should affect you negatively. It shouldn't just be some small thing, you not getting access to particular companions or you getting attacked by the Regulators. It should really affect you in a negative way that should turn you off of being a bad person. But if you're willing to stick that out and you're willing to have a bad karma or be a bad person, then that really does tell something about yourself and the way you want to play the game. If you can stick all of those negative consequences out, then you're truly a bad person. You're truly fulfilling the role of a bad character. And on the flip side, if I'm acting good towards the Wasteland, yes, people should like me, people should respect me, I should get discounts at certain stores, I should be able to gain access to particular areas or quest lines that I might not be able to otherwise gain access to. But also as well, bad factions, slavers, rapists, or other bad factions in the Wasteland should not like me because I'm a goody two-shoes. And something similar should also happen if you're a bad person. If you're a bad person, then slavers, then rapists, then criminals, they should like you because you are like them. They can actually empathize with you. So in that way, the neutral, bad, negative karma really does shape and mold in a meaningful way how your character is received in the Wasteland, is perceived, is reacted towards in the Wasteland. And in that way, the decision to be a good character or a neutral character or a bad character should be a hard one to make. I should really have to sit down and think and be like, shit, if I want to play as a bad person, I can't gain access to this town. I can't be friends with these people. I can't gain access to these quest lines. But if I do be a bad character, I can talk to these people. I will be favorably acted towards by the slavers. They will give me more quest lines and items. Something like that, and also vice versa. If I'm a good character, I should not be giving unique quest lines or unique weapons or armors. Whatever. I want the karma system to really impact upon the character. I want that decision to be a bad, neutral, or a good person to really be a hard decision to make. Now, what I'm saying might sound similar to Fallout New Vegas' reputation system. Now, I'm not necessarily saying it should be a copy and paste, because in reality, Fallout New Vegas' emphasis wasn't necessarily on karma. It was much more emphasized on the reputation system. I understand that. So I guess what I'm trying to argue is that Fallout 4 should include a good combination of both. It should include a karma system which affects your interactions with people in the Wasteland generally, and then also incorporate a reputation system like New Vegas, which will affect your reputation and your dealings with particular individuals or factions in the Wasteland. But anyways, Wastelanders, those are just my thoughts. I am really opinionated about this topic, so please share your thoughts in the comments below. As always, I will get around to commenting on every single one of your comments. Please be sure to check out my latest Fallout New Vegas Mods Weekly video, and until next time, this has been the Lone Vault Wanderer. Please take care of yourself, and as always, keep fighting the good fight.